Is your game sense stopping you from ranking up? Are you constantly making bad play after bad play? Then look no further, as I'm going to give you 3 ways you can improve your game sense now. By developing some basic defensive sight knowledge, leveling up your player diversity, and lastly, learning how to read the enemy. You'll be able to go from bad plays to making the enemy look so bad you couldn't possibly be in the same rank as them. To begin improving your site knowledge, I want to look at being ready for enemy utility. Simply go to any site on any map and think about the most common ways players try to get onto said site. For example, Ascent B-bomb site. The immediate things I would think of are Sova dart on one of the trees, jet dashing button, a cipher camera in the window, and someone trying to spam through the main wall. You may come up with different ones, but I bet they would generally be the same for most players. You should be able to do this quickly at the start of every round. Your game sense is already improving. Now we'll move over to countering a site hit. Where can I position and use utility to stop these plays? Depending on your agent, you may set a trap to catch the jet dashing onto site, or throw a dart when the enemy runs into site, or play with a flash, or play aggressive to not even let the play be initiated, or. The possibilities are endless, and that is what can make game sense so complicated. If you can master the first step of being ready for the most common ways the offense will try to hit your site, step 2 will start to become easier and easier. Boom, your game sense has raised thanks to your site knowledge. Remember, think about what utility the enemy has and where they will use it. Then think of ways your agent can counter these plays. While these two concepts may seem simple, the faster you can grasp them, the better you will become. By improving your site knowledge, you have created a foundation for defensive game sense. Simply by thinking about how the enemy will try to use utility will give you major improvement to how you view the game. Next, we need to look at your player diversity. Player diversity is all about the different strategies you can do throughout a game. Things like taking aggressive control of the middle of the map on Haven, flanking when the offense hits the opposite site, lurking while your team tries to take a site, and so on. The more strategies you possess, the better. Here are a couple strategies I love to pull out and have practiced multiple times to improve my player diversity. Number 1, pulling out an op on offense. Opping on offense is generally not advised, which is why I rarely do it. However, it is a strategy I have and use from time to time. Once again, form strategies and then learn when the best time to use it is. Personally, the best time to use an op on offense is when I know the enemy will peek an angle to give me a free kill, as you see in this clip. Another great time is when I am struggling to get kills. When I can't get kills, I might as well pull out the boomstick and see what happens. Another option is to instead pull out a shotgun. Having this strategy in your arsenal can win you rounds you couldn't before. Number 2, rushing A short on sunset. This strategy is a bit of a crazy one, and that is often why it works. Imagine being on defense. One way in this box, just to see an offensive player run straight through it. My favorite times to pull out this strategy is when I am way ahead or behind. If it doesn't really matter whether I win or lose the round, I will pull this out and see what happens. I am also comfortable doing this because I have Clove ultimate to come back to life and go for attempt number 2. These are only 2 strategies that I have cultivated from my time playing Valorant. Now it is your turn to make plays and test them out. Don't expect every strategy to work the first time. Make changes when needed and keep becoming a more diverse player. Your game sense is evolving. Not only can you counter enemy side hits better, your player diversity is leveling up, giving you more strategies and ways to win the game. To end the video, I want to talk about reading the enemy. If you have ever watched professional players or high radiant play, you may feel like they have wall hacks at times. And they kind of do. It's just in their head. Luckily, this skill is something you can improve yourself by paying attention a little more deeply. Have you ever watched Raze satchel over truck to get a free kill in lambs? Or gotten hit by this dart that I showed earlier in the video? I would take a bet that you have, and probably not just once, but countless times. Both of these plays are very readable, along with countless others that you may not even notice. Step 1. Pay attention to what your teammates do. Most players systematically make plays that other players make as well, like a Yoru TP flashing onto site. I bet you have seen this one before. Then just counter it. Wait for the flash and boom, free kill. Or players holding spawn from this top box. I can't tell you how many different players love this angle, including me. Building this skill truly is as easy as watching your teammates do something and then expecting the enemy to do the same thing. Stop thinking everybody does different plays and start thinking different players make the same play. Step 2. Build awareness for plays. When you look at a part of the map, you should be able to quickly think of the most common plays made. When you look at binds belong, operators and flashes should flood your thoughts. When you look at Abyss's A site, you should think of Cypher trips here, here, and here, and then a Sova dart above you, and a player holding backside. When you think of Haven's C site, you should think about a dart backside, an Omen or Breach stun logs, and a Jet dash here. Thinking about the most common scenarios that will play out and being aware that they aren't new is what you should build upon. Stop looking at the puzzle as a million pieces, but as multiple different puzzles that do certain plays. Hopefully at this point, the way you think about the game is changing. Instead of thinking you have to understand how to play the entire map, you split sites into areas of danger. You have started to make the enemy second guess where you are playing and what you are doing in the areas you are playing. And finally, you are starting to realize that most players are very readable. Instead of seeing every play as individual attempts, you see every game and player as a mold of a previous one. Players are more readable when you realize they are making the same play everybody else is making. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know any other important game sense topics you would like to learn about as well.